10:30. Now on BBC Two, blowing the whistle on today's games.
Good afternoon. We're following the final fixture list of the year, and there's still time for scorelines to change between now and the final whistles of all today's matches. Here in the studio, Mark Bright, Gary Pallister and Les Ferdinand are paying close attention to the Barclays Premier League matches underway. Some results already in. Sheffield United beaten by Crystal Palace in the Championship. Rangers beat Hibs by 2-1 in the SPL, and in League Two, Grimsby beat Lincoln. Here's the latest news on this afternoon's Barclays Premier League games. Goals flying in all over the place. 3 wins in 4 for Tottenham. Reading were unbeaten in 5. The two teams side by side in the table. Dominic Cotton reporting.
As it stands, it's Spurs 2, Reading 3, and Dave Kitson has just headed in from a corner to put the visitors in front. They hadn't won away from home. They could be on their way to their first 3 points on the road. Well, the game before that, Dimitar Berbatov's early goal was soon cancelled out by a Khalifa Cisse strike, and I can tell you, as I speak, Dimitar Berbatov has just brought Spurs level again. That's his hat-trick. He scored either side of half-time. Kitson had just put Reading in front, as I say, from a Nicky Shorey corner. That after Ivar Ingemarsen had put them in front early in the second half. So goals flying in left, right and centre. But Berbatov is the latest man to put the ball in the back of the net after confusion in the Reading defence. And the big striker has his hat-trick. 3-3 in the 73rd minute.
Great game at White Hart Lane. A Boxing Day victory over Newcastle took Wigan out of the bottom 3. Today it's a home game with Aston Villa. An eventful game for Villa a few days ago, wasn't it? Dan Walker reporting this afternoon.
Yes, Ray, it's not quite matching the 4-4 at Chelsea, but what a match this is. Villa have turned it on its head as well. Wigan dominated the first half. Titus Bramble gave them a deserved lead, but a tactical change from Villa has turned things round for them. Curtis Davis headed in the equaliser just after half-time, and they've gone ahead now. Gabriel Agbonlahor, their top scorer, his 7th of the season after some excellent work from Ashley Young, and both sides deserve credit this afternoon, Ray. Some excellent football being played on a pitch that looks like it's being prepared to grow potatoes on.
Let's hear about league leaders Manchester United playing away at West Ham. Ivan Gaskell reporting.
Inside the last 20 minutes here at Upton Park, West Ham 0, Manchester United 1. West Ham deserving of much more than they've so far got from a fine display here in which they have the leaders on the back foot for many periods. At times, United keeper Thomas Kuczczak at full stretch too. United, though, still took an early lead, a sweeping counter-attack culminating in Ronaldo's bullet header. But it was a case of 0-0 moments ago. Spector's handball, United's penalty, dragged badly wide by Portugal's finest. West Ham still in it, trailing 1-0.
Let's go back to White Hart Lane. This is some game. Dominic Cotton.
It really is an extraordinary game. The defences of both sides are nowhere, and Dave Kitson has just put Reading in front. A sublime finish. He was put through and he was one-on-one with Paul Robinson. He just dinked it over the top of the England goalkeeper, and Reading are back in front. We've still got 16 minutes on the clock plus some injury time, so I wouldn't rule out the possibility of another goal or two. But as it stands, Reading are on course to record their first away win of the season.
Time for 3 more goals there at least. 1 point out of 6 over Christmas has brought renewed criticism for manager Sam Allardyce from a section of Newcastle fans. Newcastle away at Chelsea today. Andrew James reporting.
Great, crazy game football. Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1. We've just heard shouts ringing around the ground of "you don't know what you're doing." They're not aimed at Sam Allardyce, though. They've been aimed at the Chelsea manager Avram Grant, who's made 2 second-half substitutions. He's pulled off Joe Cole, and he's now just substituted Michael Ballack, who was captaining Chelsea for the first time today. Not popular with the Chelsea fans. Chelsea took the lead in the first half through Michael Essien. Newcastle equalised in the second half. A combination of Nicky Butt going forward, Bridge going backwards. Was it an own goal? Was it Butt's goal? It's one apiece, and Michael Owen is on for Newcastle as Chelsea look to preserve that 72-game unbeaten home league run.
We're not joking, this is serious. Another goal at White Hart Lane. Dominic Cotton.
Extraordinary. Well, I didn't really think there'd be any more goals, but I was completely wrong. And Steve Malbranck has just made it 4-4. Nice goal, nice finish. Had a bit more space than you might expect at the highest level. Dinked round and bent the ball past Marcus Hahnemann. It's 4-4 here in the 75th minute.
Wow, Boxing Day win for Birmingham took them 4 points away from the relegation places. Fulham arrived at St Andrews third bottom with new manager Roy Hodgson watching in the stands. Mark Bishop reporting.
Birmingham 1, Fulham 1, an incredible double save by Niemi denying Larson and then Quadru to keep lowly Fulham without an away win, remember, in the league since September 2006 in this match. Roy Hodgson, who doesn't take over the Fulham side until tomorrow, he couldn't have wished for a better start. Bocanegra heading in from a Simon Davis corner after Birmingham had gone asleep at the back. Alex McLeish gave his side a real talking to at half-time. They came out the trap second half very well. Larson with a terrific goal. Boatsa then shot just wide of Taylor's upright a couple of minutes ago. Fulham not out of this, but Birmingham are on top. Birmingham 1, Fulham 1.
One win in 13 for second bottom Sunderland, 1 point from the last 12. How they need to win in their final fixture of 2007, but so does sixth bottom Bolton, only 3 points above the relegation places. Steve Sutton's at the Stadium of Light.
Yes, Ray, it's Sunderland 2, Bolton 1. All the goals coming in the first half. Kieran Richardson and Kenwyn Jones for Sunderland. El Hadj Diouf just before half-time. It's been nip and tuck, end-to-end, without any real chances being created in this second half. The best opportunities at either end. Kieran Richardson forcing a great save from Jussi Jääskeläinen, and El Hadj Diouf just shooting wide for Bolton. Stalemate in the second half. Sunderland 2, Bolton 1.
Brentford have lost the last 4 at home in League 2, 1 win in 8, but they're 2 up. Ross Montague on 76 minutes has put them 2 up at home to Chester. Next up, Fratton Park, where Portsmouth are playing this afternoon. Middlesbrough the visitors. 7th top against 5th bottom. Latest news from Roger Johnson.
It's Portsmouth 0, Middlesbrough 1. Tunchai's tap in 20 minutes into the first half separates the sides. It was an easy finish after Gary O'Neill laid Stuart Downing's cross on a plate for him. The home side haven't scored a league goal here for 3 months. Put another way, it's more than 520 minutes now. Carnew's hit the post in the second half. Pompey on top at the moment, having used all 3 subs, but Borough are dangerous on the break, and they lead 1-0.
Back to Upton Park, Ivan Gaskell.
Well, I have to say, West Ham have got a very deserved equaliser. A fabulous moment for the home supporters. They really do deserve it. They played well from the very start of West Ham. It was a Mark Noble corner from the right, and it was headed powerfully home by Anton Ferdinand. 1-1 here at West Ham, game on.
Arsenal enjoying the scoreline. Back to White Hart Lane, Dominic Cotton.
This has gone crazy here. It's 5-4 to Spurs. Jermaine Defoe, on as a substitute, has just followed up after Robbie Keane won and failed to convert a penalty. Remember, he missed against Arsenal. He missed his penalty kick here. Marcus Hahnemann making a good save. That didn't matter in the end. Jermaine Defoe following up to head in and put Spurs, quite incredibly, 5-4 up in the 78th minute. We probably have got another couple of goals left in this one.
Scandalous. It's scandalous.
Do you know what I noticed there? That there were about 3 or 4 Tottenham players were sort of charging that ball down.
Jermaine Defoe
Ray, can I just say
3 or 4 yards in the box when he hits a penalty.
Hunt was in the box at 3 or 4 yards as well.
2 yards behind Defoe.
Jermaine Defoe's standing next to Robbie Keane as he strikes it.
Yeah.
So when the kick's taken, Defoe is alongside Robbie Keane.
No, he's not.
He's infringing.
All of them are running into it. They do it all the time.
He's 3 or 4 yards in the box.
It's good anticipation from Jermaine
Defoe. 2 yards ahead of him.
Awful.
The referee allows that.
You've got to retake it.
Oh, the linesman who should be saying.
You've got to retake it.
A cracking afternoon, Les.
I tell you what, it's like a training ground game. You know, it's like you play and you say to each other, it gets to 4-4 and you say,
next goal's the winner.
Next goal's the winner. And that's exactly what it's like.
Hey, who would bet on another goal at Stamford Bridge in the Chelsea-Newcastle game too?
I know. Alex just missed an unbelievable chance. He comes into the area and he jumps and he doesn't need to. If he doesn't jump, he sort of stands and heads it in, and he sort of bounced down and went over. Oh, it was a red
9
card
goals at White Hart Lane so far. To Scotland, an early kick-off for Rangers away at Hibs. Andy Gillies reporting.
Don't be fooled by the score. This was a far more comprehensive victory than it suggests. Rangers were comfortably in control from the moment Stephen Naismith put them ahead after 12 minutes. Chris Burke set that one up and also played a part in the second after 59 minutes, interchanging passes with Daniel Kusan, who lashed it in from 20 yards. Rangers could easily have added to their goals tally, but for some occasionally eccentric goalkeeping by Makalambi, while Hibs carried little threat. Their late consolation from Zamama was a goal of quality in an otherwise tepid display.
Rangers top of the table for now. Celtic are playing bottom of the table. Gretna, Ian Turner reporting.
And they're leading Gretna by 2-0 and it's looking like all 3 points for Celtic. Gretna started very well, but Scott McDonald's low finish just before half-time and Scott Brown's 22-yarder just after the interval has knocked the stuffing out of Davy Irons' men. Paul Hartley's just hit the bar with a header. Scott McDonald's hit the post with a shot. There's surely more goals in this game in the last 13 minutes. 2-0 Celtic.
Motherwell well in control at home to Dundee United. Back to St Andrews, Mark Bishop.
Who'd be a Fulham fan, Ray. Birmingham won, but Fulham are down to 10 men. Correct decision by referee Mark Clattenburg. Buatsa's challenge on Quadru was late and very stupid. It was his second yellow card offence and he was given his marching orders. Birmingham are absolutely taking Fulham apart here at the moment. They come back into this game through a terrific goal from Larson, and that after Fulham led through that Bocanegra close-range header. Alex McLeish's side turning the screw, one apiece at St Andrews.
Scottish Division 3 leaders, East 5 just taking the lead away at Albion. In the SPL, Motherwell playing Dundee United. Third against fourth, the kick-off. Brian McLaughlin with the latest.
Where it's Motherwell 5, Dundee United 2, Hughes, Porter, McCormick and a double from Clarkson. The scorers for Motherwell, David Robertson and Noel Hunt for Dundee United. Still 4 minutes left for play, but we'll have at least 7 minutes of stoppage time. Captain of Motherwell, Phil O'Donnell, seemed to go down off the ball. Nobody was near him. He collapsed in a heap. The Motherwell players were really concerned with a stoppage for 7 minutes. Phil has been taken away on a stretcher. We don't know if he was conscious or not. He was receiving oxygen as he was leaving the pitch. Real cause for concern here for Phil O'Donnell. We've still, to say, 4 minutes left for play, but plenty of injury time here at Fir Park. It's Motherwell 5, Dundee United 2.
1 point out of 6 for Nottingham Forest over Christmas. To Upton Park, a goal. Ivan Gaskell.
The championship has just taken another twist. A fabulous goal by Matthew Upson from a free kick has given West Ham the lead here. West Ham 2, Manchester United 1. United undone by another set piece. 9 minutes to go. The Hammers fans are ecstatic.
And back to White Hart Lane, another goal. Dominic Cotton.
Dimitar Berbatov has his 4th of the game, I think, and I'm not sure about this, but I think I can safely say that the game is now safe. A great finish from the big striker. The ball dinked upfield from Yunus Kabul, and Berbatov has hammered it home. 6-4 Spurs now lead. Surely there's no way back from this for Reading. It's been extraordinary. We've got 8 minutes of normal time to play. Berbatov has 4, Spurs have 6, and they lead by 6 goals to 4.
West Bromwich Albion are going to be top of the Championship going into the new year. West Ham's performance, no fluke about this over the course of the game. They've played incredibly well.
Two set pieces. Manchester United is so strong down the middle. Vidic and Ferdinand. Anton Ferdinand comes on as a sub. Free kick, great header. And then the second one, Matthew Upson, very similar position. Another good header. I mean, and Ronaldo's missed a penalty as well, so...
Any argument, Gary, from Manchester United's perspective?
I don't think so today. I think right from the off, West Ham have taken the game to United. They've had chances. They've not let United play at all, and you've got to say they deserve the 2-1 position in at the moment.
Ronaldo had the chance, didn't he, at 1-0 to seal the game?
Yeah, it would have been fortuitous because I feel for the majority of the game, West Ham has taken the game to Manchester United.
As I said before as well, Stubbs, West Ham have did the double over Man United last year, and United have lost the title there in the past.
They've had some bad games over the years down at West Ham. That's
no,
for
they
sure.
deserve their 2-1.
OK, Sheffield United nil, Crystal Palace 1 at lunchtime. A Boxing Day win of 7 games without a victory for Leicester. They need to build on that away in the relegation place. They're playing 5th place Charlton. Steve May reporting.
Well, we've just got a goal here, Ray. It's Leicester 1, Charlton 0, a game which really didn't deserve a goal, but we've got one across from the right-hand side, and it was Steve Clements, the Leicester skipper, with a stooping header, which Weaver looked to have stopped before it rolled in. And it looks now that if it stays like this at 1-0, then Leicester will have equalled the number of managers they've had this year with the number of home wins. Leicester 1, Charlton 0.
Immediately to Stamford Bridge, Chelsea against Newcastle. Andrew James.
Oh, it's all gone wrong for Newcastle, Ray. It's Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. Solomon Kalou is the man who's been credited with a goal, but Mike Riley is currently having to deal with some considerable dissent from at least half a dozen Newcastle players. Shay Given has just got a yellow card. Abdoulaye Faye is furious. Sam Allardyce is pointing at the giant screens to the 4th official, Steve Bennett. It's a goal that's been allowed to stand. You'll have to make your own minds up when you see it on Match of the Day. It's credited to Solomon Kalou, and it's Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1.
Massive debate about offside. In the Championship, Watford were second going into today's games. They're playing second bottom Queen's Park Rangers. Steve Lee.
Yes, it's enough to make Sir Elton John cry in his champagne. It's Watford 1, Queen's Park Rangers for Azos Bouzaki. A second-half sub for Queen's Park Rangers has just got the fourth, and that just about completes the afternoon scoring for Queen's Park Rangers. They were 3 up in the first half, 2 from Martin Rowlands, 1 from Damien Stewart. Watford pulled a goal back from Francis, but the game is up. Watford look like they're heading for their worst home defeat of the season. Watford 1, Queen's Park Rangers 4.
West Bromwich Albion going to be 3 points clear at the top of the Championship table. Mark Webber.
5-0 to West Brom. They've got more style and panache and a freshly stocked Gucci warehouse, Ray. Craig Beattie, the latest one to score. Kevin Phillips has got on the score sheet. Nigel Atkins, the Scunthorpe boss, sent off after disagreeing with Phillips's goal. And also they lost Marcus Williams in a red card. 5-0 to West Brom.
Yeah, Plymouth against Stoke. Stoke having a great run in the Championship. Plymouth 6 as well, 6 playing third. Hamish Marshall.
It's 2-2 here. Stoke have twice lost the lead and now they're playing the last 10 minutes with 10 men. Goalkeeper Russell Holt recalled to the side today, upended Sylvan Ebanks-Blake on the edge of the area. He was the last man and he got a straight red. Richard Cresswell and Ryan Shawcross put Stoke ahead, but Ebanks-Blake and Christian Timar have tied this one up inside the last 10 minutes.
Top game in League One. Swansea playing Leeds, first against third. Tony Colliver.
Yes, it's Swansea 3, Leeds United 2. It's been an exhilarating game here with 5 goals and a sending off. The home side went ahead through an Andy Robinson free kick. Jermaine Beckford drew the sides level. Then Swansea went 3-1 up through Gary Monk and Jason Scotland. That was before Alan Thompson pulled a goal back for the visitors. Swansea, though, have been down to 10 men. That was when, in the first half, Ferry Botter was shown a straight red card for a very late foul on Jonathan Howson. Swansea 3, Leeds 2.
League 2 leaders MK Dons are away at Darlington. Darlington kicked off in third place. Natalie Jackson.
It's Darlington 0, MK Dons 1, Ray. Jamal Johnson, the scorer. The goal came after some great passing around the area by the Dons. The ball fell to the American Johnson and he hit it 10 yards out into the back of the net. The MK Dons could be the first away team to win here at Darlington if they win today. Jamal week, and he's done the same this afternoon. It's Darlington 0, MK Dons 1.
MK Dons lead, as far as the automatic promotion places are concerned, could be into double figures. Was that an offside goal for Chelsea?
Not even debatable. It's so far offside, it's ridiculous. The assistant referee needs locking up for that decision. He's at least 3 yards off, 4 yards off maybe.
It's
and
not
no
even
wonder
close.
Sam Allardyce is going berserk, because he's seen it again
Yes.
on the big screen after that. And it's ridiculously so far offside.
It's the things that happen when you're at the bottom all the time. But I think it hits Ballack and deflects to Kalou. And he's so far off, I think some of the Newcastle players stop.
Not even close, lads.
Don't even, you know,
Not even
all the
debatable.
explanations we did a little while ago. You can't debate that as being an offside. It's a clear offside, 3 yards. Deflates a team.
Yeah.
Well, what an afternoon it's been so far. Goals still being scored. Let's go back to Vicarage Road. Steve Lee.
Yes, it's now Watford 2, Queen's Park Rangers 4, and Dan Shittu, a second-half sub and a former Queen's Park Rangers player, has just got one back for Watford. It probably will be a consolation effort. Watford have really thrown the kitchen sink at Queen's Park Rangers to no avail, really, but Shittu's got a second goal for them, so they still trail Watford 2, Queen's Park Rangers 4.
Still time for the situation to change in this afternoon's games. Let's go back to Ivan Gaskell at Upton Park.
Yes, West Ham just have 2 or 3 minutes to hang on to this, but they really have seized the initiative from the very beginning of this game, and they're still really holding it. United have not really threatened them since they took the lead. And I will just mention at this stage that we haven't seen any sign of Sir Alex Ferguson on the United bench this afternoon. He's usually a fixture and a very lively one on their bench. No sign of him today. He possibly is in the stand beneath us. And United are just making their final sub, John O'Shea, coming onto the pitch. I rather suspect too little too late.
The score stays the same and Arsenal can win at Goodison Park. Arsenal go back to the top of the table. Motherwell against Dundee United in the SPL. Brian McLaughlin.
Full-time whistle, Ray. Motherwell 5, Dundee United 3. Mark McGee's side entered 2008 after yet another terrific performance, going to pole position for a European spot. Goals from Porter, McCormick and Hughes early on set the ball rolling, followed by a David Clarkson double in the second half. David Robertson, then 2 from Noel Hunt scored for United. Our thoughts are with Motherwell captain Phil O'Donnell, who was carried off in a stretcher late on. We await news of his injury. It's Motherwell 5, Dundee United 3.
Forfar Dumbarton is bottom and second bottom in Scottish Division 3, and Forfar have got 3 points. Forfar 3, Dumbarton 1. And back to Stamford Bridge, Andrew James.
Right, still Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1, and that is the final moments of the game here. Mike Riley's just given a throw-in on the far side. Steve Bennett, the fourth official, has had to come and stand between Nigel Pearson, the assistant manager, and Sam Allardyce of Newcastle, as they're trying to get at Mike Cairns, the assistant referee who allowed that goal to stand. Just a reminder, Essien scored in the first half, but got the equaliser. But then with the ball bouncing off Pizarro into the path of Kalou, who was a good 3 or 4 metres offside. Clear-cut one, this one. Chelsea's goal allowed to stand, so Chelsea lead it by 2 goals to 1.
Is there going to be a dramatic conclusion to the match at St Andrews? Mark Bishop.
Birmingham 1, Fulham 1, Ray. A terrific high-tempo game in front of a sellout crowd, almost 29,000. Fulham down to 10 men after a reckless challenge by Boatsu, his second yellow card offence for a late challenge on Quadru. Birmingham were simply awful in the first half. Bocanegra's near post header shocked just about everybody in the stadium, including Roy Hodgson, of course, the manager-elect who'll take over Fulham tomorrow. Back bounce Birmingham through that terrific goal from Larson. It's all Birmingham at the moment. It's 1-1 at St Andrews.
Sunderland are moments away of climbing out of the relegation places. Steve Sutton.
Well, still some moments, Ray, because there's 2 minutes of normal time left. Despite what the referee Phil Dow decides to add on, Sunderland are hanging on, and I mean really clinging on to this. They lead 2-1, goals from Richardson and Jones in the first half. Diouf got Bolton's reply also in the first half. Sunderland are in the Bolton half now for about the first time in about the last 20 minutes. They really are clinging on, and it's 2-1.
Hearts have lost the last 5, beaten at Falkirk this afternoon. Its final whistle has gone in Bournemouth 2-2, Bournemouth 2, Swindon 2. Final whistle has gone at Celtic Park. Ian Turner.
Not quite the final whistle yet, Ray, but Aidan McGeady has just tied up the points for Celtic. It was a deflected shot from 22 yards, came off Ryan McGuffey, deflected it past his own keeper. It's going to be 3 points for Celtic. They're going to finish the year on top of the SPL.
Final whistle at Stamford Bridge. Andrew James reports on Chelsea against Newcastle. Chelsea's unbeaten home run that goes back some 46 months is intact.
Yes, 73 league games now, Ray. Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1. Essien's goal in the first half cancelled out by Butt's goal, which owed much to the intervention of Wayne Bridge for the Newcastle equaliser. Newcastle sent on Michael Owen for his first game since being injured on England duty in November, but he couldn't do anything as Solomon Kalou, in a very much changed 7 changes Chelsea side, got a late winning goal that looked to be very much offside, a decision that angered the Newcastle supporters and has turned the feeling of Newcastle being in shame on Boxing Day to disappointment and support for them almost after that dreadful decision by the assistant referee Mike Cairns. The final score at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 2, Newcastle 1.
Third win in 10 for Tranmere Rovers, but they're back in the playoff race. We're at the JJB Stadium where Wigan are playing Aston Villa. It's all over. Dan Walker.
The full-time whistle's just gone, Ray. Wigan started this game like a team full of confidence, brave, bustling and dominant against the Villa side, suffering a hangover from their epic draw at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. And Titus Bramble gave Wigan a deserved lead in the first half, but Villa kicked in when Curtis Davies scored a carbon copy equaliser 10 minutes into the second period. Gareth Barry then began to exert control, and Ashley Young's cross allowed Gabriel Ogbonlahor to deftly head a Villa in front. Wigan will feel hard done by, particularly because of their bruising first half display, but Aston Villa remain almost unbeatable away from home.
Final whistle at Upton Park. Manchester United have been beaten. Ivan Gaskell.
Yes, the cheers ringing from Upton Park all the way to the Emirates Stadium. West Ham 2, Manchester United 1 the final score. Incredibly, West Ham's 3rd consecutive league win over United, and they deserve it richly. Manchester United may have taken the early lead here with Ronaldo's decisive header capping a devastating end move, but it was West Ham who took the initiative from the start, and they simply refused to hand it back. Kuczczak was stretched repeatedly, good chances went begging, but when Cristiano Ronaldo failed to finish it by dragging a penalty badly wide, West Ham drew inspiration. 2 identical set-piece headers from Ferdinand under his brother's nose, then Upson turned it deservedly West Ham's way. It's Arsenal for them next. West Ham 2, United 1.
A late goal at the Stadium of Light. Steve Sutton.
Yes, Ray, it's gone to Sunderland, and Sunderland lead by 3 goals to 1. It's been scored by a second-half substitute, Daryl Murphy. A rare attack by Sunderland in this second half. The ball went to Murphy on the edge of the box. He shrugged off a challenge and calmly slotted it into the far corner of the net. Surely Sunderland have got 3 points now. They lead 3-1.
Tottenham won 4 out of 5. Let's go to White Hart Lane to hear about an incredible game of football from Dominic Cotton.
Yes, Ray, it's finished Spurs 6, Reading 4, and after a tight first half, this turned into an extraordinary training ground kickabout. Dimitar Berbatov's early goal was cancelled out by Khalifa Cisse's strike. Nothing unusual then at half-time. In the second period, though, it all went rather crazy. Inge Marsson put Reading in front before Berbatov got his hat-trick either side of a Kitson goal. The visiting striker then dinked the ball over Robinson to make it 4-3. A sublime Malbronk finish squared it up again before Keane missed a penalty, but Defoe followed up to put Spurs back in front. Berbatov's 4th of the game completed the comical scoreline on an afternoon that both defences will want to forget.
Let's go to St Andrews. New Fulham boss Roy Hodgson sat in the stand, and there he is, and I would imagine he'd be satisfied that his side have taken a point. Mark Bishop.
Be very satisfied, Ray. Birmingham 1, Fulham 1. 27 matches in the league since Fulham last won on the road, but with their new manager Roy Hodgson watching from the director's box before taking over his new side tomorrow, Fulham gave Alex McLeish's side a real scare in front of Birmingham's biggest crowd of the season to date, almost 29,000. Healy was magnificent, starting in the first half, a terrific effort inside 10 seconds, then he put Fulham ahead. Bocanegra did put Fulham in front, though, a near-post header from a Simon Davis corner. Alex McLeish gave his side a real talking to at half-time, though. Birmingham out of the traps. A great goal from Larson levelled the scores. Fulham then down to 10 men. Boatza sent off for a second bookable offence for a late challenge on Quadru. Birmingham couldn't take advantage, but surely a moral victory this for Fulham. Birmingham 1, Fulham 1.
Let's go to Fratton Park. Things aren't going well for Pompey of late, but it's terrific for Middlesbrough. No points out of 6 going into this game on the south coast, but they've won. Roger Johnson.
They have. It's finished Portsmouth 0, Middlesbrough 1. A big win this for Gareth Southgate's side off the back of those 2 defeats. Tunchai got the goal, tapping in after O'Neill had teed up Downing's cross. Borough had a few other clear-cut chances, nor did Portsmouth for that matter. Carnew hit a post in the second half, but they've not scored a league goal here in 3 months and more than 540 minutes. 1 point from 12 is awful form for them. Borough the winners here, 1-0.
Let's sprint to the Stadium of Light. Sunderland are out of the relegation places. Steve Sutton.
Yes, Ray, Sunderland 3, Bolton 1, and after that Boxing Day humiliation at the feet of Man United, this was a Sunderland side that simply refused to be beaten. This afternoon they took the lead through Kieran Richardson after he was set up wonderfully well by Kenwyne Jones. Then Jones himself got the second, the header from a corner before El Hadj Diouf equalised from a free kick just before half-time. Bolton laid siege to the Sunderland goal for the second half, and then on their 1 or 2 breakaways in the second half, very late on, Daryl Murphy got the ball on the edge of the box. He shrugged off a challenge and planted it in the far corner of the net, much to the relief of players and fans alike. Sunderland 3, Bolton 1.
2 out of 30 for Bolton away from home. Sunderland out of the relegation places. Celtic back on top of the SPL. Ian Turner.
Celtic 3, Gretna 0. Champion Celtic will go into 2008 and the Old Firm match on Wednesday as league leaders after seeing off a Gretna side whose performance belied their league position. The Borderers' early play unsettled the champions, but well-taken goals either side of the interval from Scott McDonald and Scott Brown took the pressure off Gordon Strachan's side, and in the last minute a deflected Aidan McGeady shot guaranteed that Celtic and their supporters will have a happy new year. It finished Celtic 3, Gretna 0.
West Bromwich Albion won 4 on 5. They end the year top of the Championship. Mark Webber.
5-0 win for them today, Ray. It may have taken 35 minutes for the Baggies to get on the score sheet, but when Kevin Phillips opened the account, there was no doubt more was to come. Pick of the goals, Kevin Phillips is second on the rebound to make it 3-0. Sub Craig Beattie's curler to make it 5-0. Scunthorpe's misery started when Nigel Adkins was sent to the stands. Marcus Williams was red-carded minutes later. Scunthorpe did hit the woodwork, but they couldn't stop the Baggies. Boing, boing, the clock strikes 12. Baggies are top of the league for the new year.
Watford having an awful time, but Queen's Park Rangers have played themselves out of the relegation places in the Championship. Steve Lee.
Yes, Watford 2, Queen's Park Rangers 4. Nightmare at Vicarage Road for Watford and their fans. They haven't won here since October the 20th, and on this form that could continue. They attacked naively and were picked off by a grateful Rangers. Martin Rowlands with 2, Damien Stewart and Azov's Buzaki got their goals. Watford pulled a couple back through Francis and Shitu, but the side who were the runaway leaders of the Championship have had their season derailed. Watford 2, QPR 4.
Let's hear about Plymouth against Stoke. This was 6th versus 3rd at kick-off. Hamish Marshall.
It finished 2-2 and 10-man Stoke were happy to hang on for a point, something you wouldn't have thought possible for long periods of this game. Twice Plymouth came back to level, and it took a full stretch save by substitute keeper Steve Simonson from a 20-yard bicycle kick from Sylvan Ebanks-Blake to extend the Potters' unbeaten record to 9 matches. 2-2.
Top game in League One, Swansea against Leeds. 1st versus 3rd, Tony Colliver.
Yes, it's finished Swansea 3, Leeds United 2. It's now 5 wins on the bounce for Swansea City, and it was especially sweet as they were down to 10 men for a large percentage of the game. That was following Ferry Botter's first half dismissal. Goals for the home side from Andy Robinson, Gary Monk and Jason Scotland gave Swansea the win. Jermaine Beckford and Alan Thompson scored in reply for the visitors. That's now 19 goals scored in 5 games for the home side, who strengthened their position at the top of the table.
All the results are just about in. Tim Gudgeon will confirm the final scores of the final fixture list of 2007.
And leading as usual with Barclays Premier League. Birmingham City 1, Fulham 1. Chelsea 2, Newcastle United 1. Everton and Arsenal kick off this evening. Portsmouth 0, Middlesbrough 1. Sunderland 3, Bolton Wanderers 1. Tottenham Hotspur 6, Reading 4, West Ham United 2, Manchester United 1, Wigan Athletic 1, Aston Villa 2. In the Coca-Cola Championship, Barnsley 2, Southampton 2, Burnley 0, Bristol City 1, Colchester United 0, Blackpool 2, Coventry City and Ipswich Town kick off this evening. Leicester City 1, Charlton Athletic 1, Norwich City 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Plymouth Argyle 2, Stoke City 2, Preston North End 1, Cardiff City 2, Sheffield United 0, Crystal Palace 1, Watford 2, Queen's Park Rangers 4, West Bromwich Albion 5, Scunthorpe United 0. In the Coca-Cola League 1, Bournemouth 2, Swindon Town 2, Bristol Rovers 3, Carlisle United 0, Doncaster Rovers 3, Southend United 1, Gillingham 3, Nottingham Forest 0, Hartlepool United 1, Leyton Orient 1, Huddersfield Town 1, Northampton Town 2, Millwall 2, Crewe Alexandra 0, Oldham Athletic 0, Walsall 2, Port Vale 1, Luton Town 2, Swansea City 3, Leeds United 2, Tranmere Rovers 1, Cheltenham Town 0, Yeovil Town 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. League 2, Barnet 0, Chesterfield 2, Bradford City 1, Hereford United 3, Brentford 3, Chester City 0, Bury 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 2, Darlington 0, Milton Keynes Dons 1, Grimsby Town 1, Lincoln City 0, Macclesfield Town 2, Rochdale 2, Mansfield Town 1, Accrington Stanley 2, Morecambe 3, Peterborough United 2, Notts County 0, Rotherham United 1, Shrewsbury Town 0, Wycombe Wanderers 1 is a latest score, Wrexham 0, Stockport County 1. In the Blue Square Premier, Altrincham 1, Stevenage Borough 5, Cambridge United 0, Burton Albion 0, Exeter City 2, Histon 1, Farsley Celtic 1, Crawley Town 5, Forest Green Rovers 3, Droylsden 2, Grays Athletic 2, Aldershot Town 1, Oxford United 0, Kidderminster Harriers 0, Rushton and Diamonds 1, Northwich Victoria 0, Salisbury 1, Halifax Town 0, Stafford Rangers 0, Ebbsfleet United 1, Woking 0, Torquay United 1, York City 2, Weymouth 0. In the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League, Celtic 3, Gretna 0, Falkirk 2, Hearts 1, Hibernian 1, Rangers 2, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 3, Kilmarnock 1, Motherwell 5, Dundee United 3, St Mirren 0, Aberdeen 1. The Ernbury Scottish Division 1, Clyde 1, St Johnstone 3, Dundee 1, Partick Thistle 0, Dunfermline Athletic 2, Stirling Albion 1, Morton 1, Hamilton Academical 3, Queen of the South 1, Livingston 0. Division 2 in Scotland, Berwick Rangers 2, Airdrie United 4, Brechin City 5, Ayr United 1, Peterhead 1, Cowdenbeath 0, Queen's Park 0, Ross County 1 is the latest score, Wraith Rovers 3, Alloa Athletic 2. And Scottish Div 3, Albion Rovers 1, East Fife 4, East Stirling 0, Montrose 3, Elgin City 2, Stenhousemuir 0, and Forfar Athletic 3, Dumbarton 1.
A couple of late kick-offs. In Coca-Cola League 2, the Shrewsbury Town Wycombe Wanderers game kicked off late because of floodlight failure at the New Meadow, 1-0 to Wycombe Wanderers. And in Iron Brew Scottish Division 2, Ross County won up away at Queen's Park. Mark Bright, Gary Pallister and Les Ferdinand have watched this afternoon's Premier League games. We'll hear their opinions on today's performances after we've looked at the updated league tables. In the Barclays Premier League, Manchester United stay top of the table despite a shock 2-1 defeat at West Ham. Red Devils remain a point clear, but they've now played a game more than Arsenal. Arsenal will regain top spot later this evening if they win at in-form Everton. Victory for the Gunners will put Arsene Wenger's side in pole position heading into the new year. Chelsea remain in third place, courtesy of their 2-1 win over struggling Newcastle United, 4 points off the pace. Fourth place Liverpool travel to fifth place Manchester City on Sunday. Both sides are now 9 and 10 points off the summit respectively with games in hand. Derby County are now 8 points adrift at the foot of the Premier League. The Rams will hope to reduce that gap when they play Blackburn Rovers at Pride Park tomorrow. Roy Hodgson will officially take over a Fulham side in the bottom two. That was after their 1-1 draw away at fellow strugglers Birmingham City this afternoon. Wigan Athletic dropped back into the relegation places following a 2-1 home defeat to Aston Villa. Roy Keane's Sunderland beat Bolton 3-1 to go level on points with the Trotters, a point clear of the drop zone. Middlesbrough's 1-0 win at Portsmouth allows Gareth Southgate's men some breathing space. They're 4 points from trouble in 14th position. Let's take a look at the Coca-Cola Championship. West Bromwich Albion have drawn 3 points clear at the top after they demolished Scunthorpe, and Watford's woeful form continued. They crashed at home to Queen's Park Rangers. Bristol City move up to third after beating Burnley 1-0. Crystal Palace knocking on the door of the playoffs now after their win over Sheffield United at lunchtime. Colchester's defeat to Blackpool leaves them 2 points adrift at the foot of the table. Preston dropped to second bottom after losing to Cardiff. Sheffield Wednesday play Hull tomorrow, knowing victory would lift them above Scunthorpe, who were thrashed by the leaders West Bromwich Albion. Queen's Park Rangers move out of the relegation zone after their shock victory over Watford. Let's take a look at the situation in Coca-Cola League 1. The situation, Swansea City and Nottingham Forest are the top two at present. But as far as the chasing group are concerned, Leeds United, Doncaster Rovers, Carlisle United and Walsall occupy the relegation at the playoff places as things stand at the moment. And as far as the relegation places are concerned in Coca-Cola League 1, it's Port Vale, Cheltenham, Bournemouth and Luton Town. Coca-Cola League 2, MK Dons will go into 2008 top of the table, 6 points clear after their away win at Darlington. Hereford win away at Bradford to keep up the pressure on the leaders. Rotherham move up to third after their victory at Notts County. At the end of the table, Wrexham's fifth straight defeat means they stay at the bottom of the table. A point behind Mansfield are also lost. Dagenham and Redbridge beat Bury to move up to 21st above Lincoln, who lost to Grimsby in the lunchtime kick-off. As far as the Blue Square Premier League is concerned, Aldershot stay top of the table despite a shock 2-1 defeat at mid-table Grays. The lead has been cut to 4 points with second place Torquay United beating Woking by 1-0. Droylsden suffered their 18th league defeat of the season at Forest Green to remain at the foot of the table. They're level on points with Stafford Rangers, who also lost at home to Ebbsfleet United. And the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League. The Old Firm teams won today, so champion Celtic stay top of the table, but Rangers just 2 points behind with 2 games in hand. Motherwell's return to winning ways means they've ensured the gap between them and the top two stays at 6 points. Gretna's mini revival ended with defeat to Celtic today, and they're 10 points adrift of St Mirren, who also lost. Plenty of post-match reaction to come, and in the minutes to come we'll be hearing from managers and players in the light of all today's results. A pair of hammer headers delivered a huge blow to Manchester United's title hopes today. A debatable goal for Solomon Kalou for injury-hit Chelsea as the Blues pile more pressure on Big Sam Allardyce. Dimitar Berbatov's four-timer gives Spurs victory in a 10-goal thriller at White Hart Lane. Kieran Richardson, Kenwyne Jones and Daryl Murphy make it back-to-back home wins for Sunderland, who move out of the bottom three. Delight for Middlesbrough as Tunkai punishes Portsmouth, who haven't scored at home in 6 matches now. Gabriel Agbon-Lahore scores the winner as Aston Villa come from behind to sink Wigan. Sebastian Larsson rescues a point for Birmingham after Carlos Bocanegra looked like giving Fulham their first away win of the year. And it's a 10:30 start for tonight's Match of the Day on BBC One. As ever, all the goals, all the saves and all the major incidents from those games will be included in the programme. Action 2 from the Everton-Arsenal game, that kicks off in a few minutes' time at Goodison Park. So 26 goals today. Cracking afternoon, Les.
It was a great afternoon.
If you
cracking
support
afternoon.
Spurs.
If he was at Spurs, it was a cracking afternoon. Not for the manager, but for for the team. Great, they scored 6 goals, but it'll be disappointing in the goals that they conceded.
Do Manchester United have any arguments with their defeat at West Ham?
No, I think West Ham were the better team on the day, but they could have really secured the points when Ronaldo had the penalty. He pulled it. You know what I mean? The form he's been in, you don't expect him to miss that. He's pulled it a couple of yards wide of the goal, and ultimately that's cost him today.
And what's jumped off the screen this afternoon for you, Mark Bryce?
Well, the 10 goals at White Hart Lane. It could have been so different, but, it seems like Ramos has sorted out the defence, hasn't he?
I think for Sunderland to get out the bottom three, it's an important win today.
Excellent win for Sunderland. They really needed it as well.
By the way, congratulations to all those sporting figures named in the New Year's honours list. PFA Chief Executive Gordon Taylor and Great North Run founder and athletics commentator Brendan Foster included. The full list and sports news across the board is on the BBC Sport website. With 2007 drawing to a close, time to look ahead to 2008. There's a big year in sport coming right up. ...2008 on the way. As far as the football is concerned this afternoon, I'm wondering what Newcastle fans will feel, because you all seem to think that the winning goal Chelsea scored was clearly offside.
Yeah, we did feel it was clearly offside, Ray, but I must admit, I think the most important thing was the manner in which Newcastle went about the game today. There looked to be some cohesion, they looked like they knew what they was doing, and they'll feel very unfortunate that they didn't get a result today.
It was a shocking decision by the assistant referee. He's 3 to 4 yards offside. It's not even debatable. How he doesn't see it is beyond me, and I can't imagine what Sam's saying right now, because he will be going ballistic.
Was there anything from the Newcastle performance today that would give their fans something to be optimistic about?
I think a lot, because Obafemi Martins has 2 great opportunities in the first half to score. If they get that goal, it can all turn out so different. But, Chelsea rode their luck. They needed that result today. It's kept them involved.
Thanks, guys. Nearly time to close here on BBC Two. But 2008 kicks off with a full fixture list of games. So from 2:30 on New Year's Day on BBC I via the red button or via the BBC Sport website. Score will follow all the January the first games. Final score from 4:30 here on BBC Two. More reaction and discussion on today's results on the way. Press the red button and follow the links to hear from players and managers as they emerge from their dressing rooms. This is where we say goodbye to BBC Two viewers. Best wishes for New Year celebrations. Bye for now.